The cable-stayed bridge became a new landmark. There are about 20 bridges across the Miass River in Chelyabinsk. It is a relatively small river, but for Chelyabinsk it is the main one. In 2024, a new and rather unusual bridge for the city was built over this river. This is the new cable-stayed bicycle and pedestrian bridge on the Universitetskaya embankment in Chelyabinsk. It spans the Miass River, connecting the northwestern districts of the city, the area known as Topolinaya Alley, near the RMK Arena and the Future to Sports City, with the city's pine forest, the Soshnevsky Bor. The idea was to give residents direct and safe access to the natural area without loading the riverbed with heavy supports and without car traffic. Environmentalists and city officials emphasized that the site is located within specially protected territories, the Miass River floodplain and the city pine forest, so the design chosen was as environmentally gentle as possible. The project's client and contractor was the local industrial group Kona. Permits and a positive expert review were obtained at the beginning of 2024. Actual construction and installation work began at the end of March 2024. Construction was completed in the fall of the same year, and the bridge opened to the public in December 2024. The delay was explained by spring flooding and the need to complete landscaping of the approaches. The city officially announced the opening date as by December 1st. The bridge is a single pylon cable-stayed structure with no supports in the riverbed. The span length is approximately 93.4 meters, the usable width of the pedestrian and bicycle section is 10 meters, the pylon height is 40 meters, the load-bearing system consists of 16 closed spiral cables made of high-strength galvanized steel, diameter from 35 to 135 millimeters. The concept of one leg was meant to minimize interference with the floodplain and riverbed. Journalists figuratively called the bridge's silhouette a harp over the river. The new bridge features artistic lighting, both static and dynamic modes, which was first switched on during the final stage of construction in the fall of 2024. The public's impressions were generally positive. Many photos and videos from the site appeared on social media. The cable-stayed bridge is being called a new landmark and a point of attraction for residents, especially in the evening when the lighting is on. However, there was an initial practical concern from some specialists. Immediately after the opening, many people on the forest side felt that the bridge led to nowhere. It ended in thickets and wet floodplain areas. In response, the city and regional authorities initiated a project for an eco-trail leading from the bridge deep into the forest toward the quarries. The tender was announced in June 2025, about 1 kilometer long, with gravel filling, signposts, and benches. Construction preparation took place in the summer. This is a classic example of a flow channeling system, guiding people along a sustainable route to prevent trampling sensitive areas of the pine forest. Did skeptics' fears come true that crowds of residents would rush across the bridge and destroy the pine forest? In fact, no, they did not. There has been no news of massive, uncontrolled human intrusion into the forest area. Instead, the city authorities immediately organized controlled access, eco-trail, navigation, lighting, and emphasized the protected status of the area. In the first months, the lack of finished trails on the other side actually restrained visitor flow. The current measures, routing, decking or filling in wet areas, are standard environmental protection practices that reduce human impact. The eco-trail is a key indicator of sustainable land use. As for the Miass River at this location, the section is fed by the Soshnevskoye Reservoir upstream. In spring or summer 2024, there were phased floods with high water discharge, up to 60 cubic meters per second, which affected construction pace near the riverbank. The river here has been silted up over the years and overgrown with reeds. In 2025, a comprehensive rehabilitation of the water body began, dredging and silt removal using geotubes, to restore water flow and oxygen balance. The Miass floodplain and the city forest are specially protected natural areas, which is why the bridge was built without intermediate supports, and the approaches on the forest side are designed as an eco-trail. The region's first cable-stayed pedestrian and bicycle bridge sharply reduced the entry threshold for residents to reach the pine forest, while the city simultaneously launched the eco-trail to manage visitor flow carefully. At the same time, riverbed cleaning continues, meaning the area will only improve environmentally in the coming years. How to get to the cable-stayed bridge. 1. Drive along Universitetskaya embankment toward the RMK Arena. 2. The bridge is located between the sports complex and the Parkovy residential area. The tall pylon arch over the river is a clear landmark visible from afar. 3. A separate bike path with markings and lighting leads to the bridge. There are ramps and wheelchair access. Right after the bridge begins a landscaped eco-trail leading into the city's pine forest. The first section is about 1 kilometer long. The surface is compacted gravel chips, with some wooden decking. Signposts, benches, and trash bins are already installed. The route avoids swampy areas and protects the pine roots. The trail gradually leads to old quarries popular among runners and skiers. From there, you can turn toward the shore of the Sheshnevskoy Reservoir. At the southern approach to the bridge, there is a viewing platform and parking area. In summer, food trucks and bicycle scooter rentals operate here. On the pine forest side, there is only nature, the sound of pines, birds, and fresh air. Note that after rain, the low areas can be damp, so it's better to wear non-slip footwear. Lighting currently extends only up to the start of the eco-trail, with lanterns installed at intervals further along. The director for the development of the Metal Structures Division of the Kona Industrial Group, Petar Sekkin, spoke about the cable-stayed bridge project as follows. This is the first bridge in the Chelyabinsk region designed using cable-stayed technology. Its distinctive feature is the absence of flexible load-bearing elements. The main load is carried by a vertical support, the pylon, which is connected to the spans by numerous steel cables, or stays. Anchored piles were used in the foundation. These are typically employed when constructing buildings in mountainous terrain or in metro systems. They allow the support to be securely fixed, ensuring the structure's reliability. The load on the structure is distributed unevenly, increasing with distance from the pylon. The maximum load falls on the rear stays, which have a diameter of 135 mm, reaching up to 1,000 tons. The lighting concept was developed by Wyss Group, a Russian leader in the field of architectural illumination. The director for development at Wyss Group's architectural bureau, Yevgeny Molvinskik, said, "We proposed a harmonious combination of functionality and aesthetics. During the design process, we took into account not only the requirements of safety and comfort for movement but also the architectural style and location of the bridge. To emphasize the beauty and elegance of the structure, our engineers developed special luminaires. The light stream system enables the use of the multifunctional RDM, Remote Device Management, standard, which provides interactive control of the lighting. The cable-stayed bridge features a futuristic design in the biotech style, where the expressiveness of the structure is achieved through the adoption of natural forms. Bionics embodies a philosophical concept, to create a new space for human life as a creation of nature, uniting the principles of biology, engineering, and architecture. The bridge was manufactured by SPK Chimolai, a company that is part of the Kona Group. Among its previously completed projects are the design, manufacture, and supply of metal structures for the football stadiums in Volgograd and Nizhny Novgorod built for the FIFA World Cup, for Russia's and Europe's tallest skyscraper, the Larkta Center, and for the world's largest hockey arena, SKA Arena in St. Petersburg.